Hey guys, how's it going? Tmanplays here with another Warno game for you today, and we've got ourselves a Timmy-10. We're going to be playing 119th. I've already marked my zone here in Hotel, starting off with an SU-27S that we're just kind of loitering around looking for helicopters. Got our two Spetsnaz GRUs going in for recon, following that up with two of these T-80Us, then two Tunguskas, and a supply, just so that if we use the smoke on the T-80U, we can resupply that smoke. Not seeing any helicopters until we spot all these Pumas here. Gonna go ahead and evac this SU-27 just so that this Eagle doesn't get on my tail. I could have possibly kept it in, flown around my AA, but just wanted to make sure that we didn't get taken out by that, so went ahead and safely evac'd. Recon though, already in good positions. Gonna unload in these tree lines and just move them all the way up. That way when these T-80Us arrive, we can start doing a lot of damage here. I did have another teammate that marked here, so I assumed he would be bringing up a lot of infantry. But if we look at his stuff, he looks like a newer player just because of the way he's pathing his units. He doesn't really have much infantry here besides the Menace. Actually has two command units, which is pretty interesting. But we don't need to talk about that. We can talk about the T-80Us, though, which are now going to be firing their reflex missiles. Trying to hit the supply, as it is going to get out of range there. But GRU pretty much spotting everything that our opponents are doing. We see this guy that's 3 Challenger Mark 3s up, so that is a problem. The good thing about these T-80Us, though, is the range on these missiles, 2,800 meters. So I can just sit back here, at a faraway distance, fire off my missiles. I did retarget just to kill these transports, just so that the GRU doesn't get spotted in case he decides to unload there. But Challenger Mark 3 is getting a little close, so we're just going to pull back. It's fine if he just wants to keep advancing, I'll just keep pulling back. As long as I need to cause him to overextend past his AA. But yeah, just going to keep firing some more reflex at him. He's doing a lot of damage. These Challengers are also the ones with the ERA. Lantu tries to hit me in the side, so just going to smoke that, pull him further away, out of range of that Milan there. Loitering around my SU-27, just to deter him from sending any clusters or anything after my T-80Us. And then going to move up the supply just to get more missiles to these T-80Us. So reinforcement-wise, I did get some infantry because I noticed my teammate here didn't really have the infantry to be able to dislodge this area. So I need to do that before I get another heavy tank. And our teammates over here doing a really good job of just keeping back all these Abrams and infantry. Lots of fire support that they're using with these BMP-3s, BMP-2s. I elect to go ahead and try and hit this with my T-80Us. I also tell my ally here, bomber incoming, because we're sending in this big ol' Su-24M bomber. Ally doesn't really heed the warning all the way, though. Does send in a BMP-2. And, well, thankfully didn't kill it. Our friendly unit, that is. But we did just destroy a lot of infantry with that. And our bomber didn't make it out. Unfortunately, my Su-27S, I actually didn't tell it to attack that Gazelle or, like, attack in here in general. It just had a mind of its own. It does get shot by a tracked rapier because of that, but thankfully doesn't go down. So both our planes there make it out. And, well, since I just kind of cleared all that infantry, I'm deciding to move up my tanks now to further push this guy out of the zone. Our team, though, at a nice +5 because we control this zone, somehow control the middle here, control this zone, and then don't have any say-so over there. But all my concentration is basically here and getting to this rear zone that they have yet to capture. So maybe some newer players or something, but you can see just steadily moving up my recon, following with my AA in the rear. I've also unloaded both my infantry that are now going to make sure that this is clear so that nothing can sideshot my T-80Us. Also going to go ahead and preemptively get some more AA up just to make sure that we keep these protected. And gonna go ahead and move these BMP-1s around the side just to get some more angles on these Terrier Paras. And then pulling back my tanks now to resupplies. We're just gonna keep advancing with the recon. Unfortunately here, the smoke fades, and while his Terrier Paras gets a really nice side shot on my BMP-1P, so that does go down, but my Tunguska able to take down a Hell Arm there. And well, that infantry not going to last too much longer as both my squads here going to take him out. So instead of pushing up to here, giving him an advantage in the close range, I want to keep all my stuff in the open. So going to decide to redirect both these T-80Us to kind of help just deal with some of this armor in the open. See right away at Bradley revealing itself. Got to smoke that because we don't want the 25 AP TOW2 hitting us even in the front armor. He's going to smoke off the dodge, that reflex. But the other one, going to try, get a nice shot here. He's already used his smoke. Unfortunately, does miss. Second T-80U gets its reflex off. You can see how fast this missile is. But unfortunately, it misses as well. It does have a pretty high accuracy at 52%. But get one more off. Unfortunately, another miss. So that's 3 misses in a row from both of these. But we won't miss forever. We also have the supply that can keep resupplying these. Going for the Abrams now. Fortunately, 4 misses. Finally get a hit on the 5th missile combined there. But yeah, we can just keep firing these off all day long. You can't even get a shot at me from this range. Let's see, we're just kind of at the end of that 2,800 meters here. And then this guy ran out of missiles, so just going to pull him back so he can resupply. I see the Milan 2 coming here. I thought it was actually going for this because of the way it was angled. But it ended up kind of turning, hitting my T-80U on the right. So just going to pull back, resupply both these guys, then re-engage. And then now that I know there's a Milan here, I'm going to eventually get some artillery up to start trying to deal with that. Tunguska here, going to be trying to deal with the Sea Knight. I actually have both of them pretty close to each other. Unfortunately, they missed 3 of those long-range missiles combined. Gonna move them just a little bit in case our opponent decides to respond with some artillery. Our opponents did capture their zone in the back, so only at a +1 now. But now I have a T-80UD up, which has the even better 21 front armor compared to the 19 for the U. And it also has the reflex, so you can see just all these missiles now firing off. Looks like our opponent does have some artillery. It's trying to hit my logistics, so just going to pull that a little further back. Go ahead and move the recon up a bit. More reflex, finally engage with that Bradley there. And I feel like I have the numbers now to deal with these challengers and the Milan here. Don't want to get tagged though, so just go ahead and smoke that guy. Better be safe than sorry. Unfortunately though, the Sea Knight with the TOW2 gonna keep me back because I don't really want to advance the Tunguska just yet until I've dealt with this Milan 2. So just pulling back. I could have smoked this guy. Instead, I just elected just to go ahead and take the hit. Didn't feel like smoking. So now I'm going to send forward these Urals just to go ahead and heal those guys up. Really trying to save the smoke at least for any airstrikes, just because I feel like we're definitely going to need the smoke in case he decides to do a massive airstrike against us. And I'm also keeping the Su-27 in reserve just in case that does happen. But we see all this infantry coming across the open, so we're going to go ahead and start shifting some of these tanks over to the left-hand side just to go ahead and hit all this down since he's advancing over the open like that. Pretty easy kills that we can get. teammate also moving in with a lot of stuff here. And then he's periodically hitting my supply vehicles. So just trying to keep those moving. It's also kind of keeping it conscious that I need to move this AA after it fires, or else it's just going to get artilleried. And I'm slowly moving around my tanks as well, just in case he decides to target around here with artillery, that he won't hit me there. But now all 3 of these T-80Us and UD going to fire those reflex. You can see instantly all 3 connect with that M1A1 CP there. A really nice kill. Our teammate over here doing a good job of pushing into this zone. I'm slowly just kicking him out over here with these T-80U and the UD wall. More reflex on the way. Find some more nice hits on that M1A1. End up routing him. And well, gonna move up the AA just a little bit with this because I feel like now's the time to really kind of push this. So unfortunately here, they're having a hard time deciding which target to hit, but these M48s get in range. They finally decide to open up on that. Find all the kills there. Green Archer, non-issue. It can't really do anything to me. It's just using recon. But our T-80 wall moving forward, trying to find the next engagement. This is going to tell me I need to go ahead and move up my recon since I have the cover of all of this. My artillery, actually trying to hit the Ihawk there. He did end up kind of getting away though. I also used my artillery just to go ahead and destroy this Milan, which we can tell did destroy because he hasn't been firing it at me. We see his artillery did kill one of my logistics there, so he is doing a good job of killing my logistics. So I do need to just kind of keep supply flowing, which is what I'm doing. Just bringing up some supply 2 at a time, keeping it in the rear and then pathing it forward when I need it. That way it's just closer to the front line. More reflex there, destroying another M48. Those don't stand a chance in the open ground against 3 of these. And then as soon as my Spetsnaz GRU spots those armed rifles, they just get instantly tagged. Moving forward some infantry here as well, just to go ahead and capture this forest so that I can move up here, maybe eventually get a command here or start getting some infantry to the edge of that little town. So trying to keep my AA somewhat close to my wall of tanks here. I just have the 2 Tunguskas and the Strela 10M. And then on this side, I'm trying to clear this forest before I really start actually trying to move these up any further. Because the way this works is there's this hill here, which goes all the way around, basically through here and then here. So I don't really want to move too close, or else then I can't shoot on top of the hill. And I don't really want to go up the hill and then he has tanks here, because then those can just easily pop me. So you can see now I'm deciding I don't want to push here. I'm going to redirect all my forces to the right, try and take this little plateau here. Almost get tagged by something there, try and turn my tank at the last second because I wasn't sure what exactly I was firing. I assume it was something in this building that had line of sight. But moving everything to the right, trying to take this plateau and then use basically this open area for my T-80Us to then try and push into the back of his zone here. So I moved the AA a little bit further back than the tanks, but now we're going to move all that up. I had another T-80UD that I purchased. It's trying to get to the front line. Unfortunately, during the game, I realized this a little late. I thought this could actually see on the plateau, but there's kind of a weird line of sight here where it's actually this forest is down the hill. So I didn't notice that. So yeah, my recon kind of blind, not able to really spot anything for me. But T-80Us, UDs, and Us can just kind of sit here. I see this Milan coming for me. Not too worried about it. Tunguskas, they're going to be able to take out that Sea Knight. Also, his infantry over here, not too worrying because I do have the recon. It's kind of showing me what all he has on that side. Also running around this Motostroki just to make sure he doesn't have anything over here that can fire at me. See my other Tunguska now. Gonna hit one of those hell arms. Other two gonna eventually go down as well, as the Tunguskas really don't mess around, killing all three of those hell arms in quick succession. Seed aircraft, unfortunately I left the guns for him on, so the Seed is gonna end up killing that there, but does pay. And we can see some type of Milan 2, Tow 2, something that I can't see is hitting me there. So I've got to be careful, keep these guys on basically full HP and all resupplied. Just allowing one of my TADUs to engage his infantry there. Unfortunately, my Motostroki does get routed, which is a bit unfortunate. I like to go ahead and move all three up just to try and finish that guy off, which we do. Kill the Terrier Paras there. And here was when I realized that I didn't have line of sight or everything, because I realized I actually had to push through here to be able to hit that warrior. Milan 2 from over here nearly got a side shot on my TADU. So I realized I don't really need to be up here until I'm ready. Have all my flanks covered. I took a nasty hit from the Abrams with the UD here as well. Just going to go ahead and elect to pull that back, resupply so that we don't lose him. So now you see I've noticed, yeah, I don't have line of sight here, so I'm going to elect to move this GRU up to this other little patch of trees here. That way I can actually see what the heck is going on in this area for when my tanks move up. Still have my artillery in the back. Have fired about half our ammunition, trying to figure out what else I need to fire at. Really should have fired at this quicker because, well, this Tunguska gonna end up going down to that. Didn't realize he would actually have line of sight there. But yeah, you can see just on that corner he has line of sight. Do end up at least taking out the logistics chopper there. Reinforcement wise, getting some more AA, a command, and a logistics, because I feel like I can push into this rear zone. End up sniping a Challenger Mark III there on the side. The GRU going to be able to spot that Milan 2 para. So now my wall, the T-80s can pretty much deal with this Milan 2 here. Fortunately, though, we are a little distracted with some targets on the right. So this guy I'm going to elect to go ahead and try and deal with this Milan 2. Going to manually target him in just a second, as I noticed that, well, we're just firing a bunch of reflex over here. So yeah, now the gun's going to turn. And, well, going to end that Milan 2's day. Probably should have pushed these guys just a little bit further. So that's what we're going to do now. Going to send the injured one back. Since we do have the recon here, these guys can now just engage at range against all these targets up here. Basically hold this high ground for me, which is what I need to do. I've also elected to get my first helicopter of the game, the Mi-24K Recon, just to kind of sit in the corner over here, make sure that he doesn't get any ATGMs on my side, so that I can safely push up my wall of tanks here. Teammate doing a good job of putting pressure on this side as well, really helping me to advance from the right side. And we see his command tank. One of my TADU is going to start engaging, but he's going to smoke off and pull that back. So now I decide it's the time to move in my BVK. Just go ahead, capture this back zone. As soon as this Challenger Mark II comes into view, you can just see all my T-80s just lighting them up. Take that out very quickly there. Have all my AA just kind of on the underside of the ridge, except for the Strela here. And, well, unfortunately, there's a Javelin LML here. It's already too late to turn around, so I just have to hope he misses one of his salvos. Unfortunately, hits all 3 shots on me there. And we see his artillery now going to try and start hitting some of my tanks, so I just need to be proactive in moving this around. Trying to chase down that LML with my infantry, but he actually has some more infantry here. More logistics on the way. Moving up this logistics from the rear. Spetsnaz GRU basically giving me good vision on anything he might have hidden around here in these buildings. And then I'm going to go ahead and start moving up my other GRU just to give me more vision and just kind of start putting a fight in this area. So I decided to loiter my Su-27S because we haven't really seen any planes from this guy. I figure, you know, he might be sending them out sometime soon. So just want to go ahead and loiter this guy around, especially since I have my command in his zone. I'll like to go ahead and use another Su-24M. Just basically bomb where I think his infantry is. And, well, you can see right away, gonna get some nice drops there. Do believe we get some infantry with that. I go ahead and buy another one just to kind of drop in between all of this, just to do some damage to that town. Ended up getting another Mi-24K. This time the LML not going to be able to destroy us. Does get one hit, but thankfully not enough to take down an Mi-24K. He would need 3. And while our bomber did another good drop over there, is going to make it out safely. Mi-24K just mopping up the scouts with the Law 80. Go ahead and unload my infantry here. Just going to start pathing that along the edge. I also see his command tank, so going to go ahead and dial up some artillery to start hitting that, as well as moving my T-80Us and UDs across the field here, just to go ahead and kick him out of the zone. So, you can see all the reflex firing away. Gonna get a nice side shot on that command. And, well, looks like he still has another command in the zone. But that's another good kill for us. Gonna go ahead and start moving the recon further up, as well as our wall of tanks. Because I'm feeling pretty confident that we can just overwhelm whatever shows up to try and fire at us. All the AA following in tandem, just to protect us from any helicopters. You can just see the massive amount of tanks I've accumulated at this point in time. Helicopter also just making sure there's nothing really sketchy in the forest that'll kind of hit me in the side. Kind of a weird path there, but just gonna clear the side eventually. And while I see all these juicy targets just kind of sitting in the back, I like to go ahead and send the Mi-24K just to maybe do some damage to all this artillery sitting in the open here. So there's just a bunch of abbots just sitting in this field. So our helicopter, gonna send those guys away. Tanks now kind of breaking through the tree line here. Gonna kill that M1A1 CP. Other T-80Us getting some good shots. I really should have pulled this guy back, but just elect to go ahead and keep him moving, just so that way we have a lot of T-80Us that can do damage. Unfortunately, though, rifles comes out of the trees there, hits me in the side, destroys my T-80U. A bit unfortunate. All my AA, though, able to deal with that tornado. We see the cluster coming in, so I immediately elect to move these guys back. Also, these rifles don't want to be too close for that. So you're going to get another F-111 cluster there. Have a fresh T-80U in reserve, just so that I can move back into here. I am kind of just chancing it. I want to destroy these M48s and whatnot. I know the rifles are here, but I know if I'm facing front armor, they can't really do too much. Tornado IDS going to come in. All my A kind of out of position, though, to deal with that, so he's going to be able to destroy my BMP-1. And, well, now's really the time to pull these guys back, because, well, we're actually going to end up taking another nasty side shot to that rifles there. Gets another shot on the front armor. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure that was his last Law 80, as that was the same one that killed my other T-80U. So comfortable just backing that guy out now. Going to go ahead and elect to back out the other one as well. I really need infantry to clear that out. So you can see now I've got the Spetsnaz OP and just the Spetsnaz infantry to help come and basically clear out all this area now. Ordering up some more recon as well. Just kind of cycling my tanks, making sure to send the hurt ones back to the logistics to repair. I'm pretty sure he can't see any of this because I have my GRU pretty close to the edge. And, well, we haven't been artillery striked in a while. Gonna elect to go ahead and move these guys in just to unload up here. And then basically move through this area, clear that out for my tanks to retake this position and cut off any reinforcements from the back of the zone. So calling in both of my Su-24Ms now. One's going to drop through here, the other one drop through there. So we watch these bombs kind of fall. Just level all these buildings in the back of the city there. Almost killed his leader. And now that leader going to end up falling. All my AA going to have a fun time with this eagle. Unlikely that he makes it out there. And well, now we have full control of this zone. I'm going to put our team at a +3. My Spetsnaz and Spetsnaz OP pushing through this forest area. I deem it clear enough to go ahead and start cutting off the reinforcements again. So I'm just kind of moving the Spetsnaz through to make sure there's nothing there. Have all these tanks healed. Healing up my GRU as well. Another kill with my AA. We've already cleared out all the side with the Motoshoki here. I have the GRU that's spotting all these units that are reinforcing. And while I'm poking out my head now from the tree line, going to be able to kill a Bradley. Green Beret's not going to have a good time out in the open there. Really need to deal with this Gazelle that's spotting my GRU. So trying to move forward the Tunguska as well. Just to go ahead and start taking out some of these helicopters. The Gazelle here as well. As we are at least going to be able to open up on that. Take that out. T-80Us. Now we will fire at the M1A1. And while 3 seconds left to victory here, we have a pretty dominant control on their back point. And that's going to be GG. So 119th, really strong division in team games, as we got #1 in kills, #1 in losses, and somehow #1 in conquest points. So #1 in everything. Pretty cool. But yeah, you can see the power of 119th there, just with the T-80Us, the wall of T-80Us in the open. It's really all you need. The bombers didn't do too bad either. The Su-27 didn't really have any planes to go against, as he wasn't really targeting my T-80Us, but we were prepared for it if it started to happen. Artillery just getting a Milan 2 there. On my AA doing pretty well, but yeah, great KD there. Great game, lots of fun. Basically, if you're playing Timmy 10, enjoy the power of 119th on those open maps. Really fun to play, pretty easy to play. 1v1, a little bit more difficult. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later, guys.